we've got amazing guests today, really cool project, and it's just an obvious use case for the blockchain. You want certain collectibles, you want authenticity that they are the correct collectibles, and you want how many of them are there. So, blockchain's a no-brainer there. NFTs is a great solution for that. And yeah, I'm just really excited about talking about this.
100%. Yeah, it's going to be a great show today. And yeah, we've got Cryptoys CEO and co-founder with us, Will. How are you doing today, Will?
I'm good, guys. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here and chat with y'all.
Awesome. Yeah, really glad to have you up with us today. It's going to be a fun chat. And we've got Poof, one of the main community leaders down there. And again, who else? We got Kyle down there. I think he might be one of our ambassadors. He's got a good group. Go ahead, share this out. Let's get this space full of people. Let's show them what Cryptoys is all about. This is going to be a good one. And let's dive into it. So, Will, I'm sure you got this on repeat and memorized by now, but tell us a little bit about yourself and how this all came to be.
Sure. Yeah. So again, thank you for having me. Really excited to be here today. Born and raised in Miami, lived there pretty much my entire life, and got started in tech at a young age. Just had an older brother, so he was always into computers and video games. So kind of got exposed through him, and got my first computer at age 8, and then around when I was 12 or 13, kind of got my first taste of the internet. I got my 1,000 hours of America Online via CD-ROM in the mail for folks that remember those days. And that's how the whole thing got started for me on dial-up internet. And I was really into professional wrestling back in the day, like WCW, NWO, and WWF, and that whole thing as a 12-year-old kid. So started to make wrestling fan sites for people on GeoCities. If you guys remember, like these free hosting sites in the 90s, like GeoCities, Tripod, Angel Fire. That's really how I got my start. Just coding and building fan sites for myself. It started off as that. Then I started building it for other fans for $100 a pop per website, and that's when I got hooked on the idea of entrepreneurship, the idea that I can make money on the internet, meeting folks that are interested in the same things that I'm interested in. So I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur and build in tech. So I started doing that, did that for a couple of years. Also helped some mom and pop shops in Miami create e-commerce websites when e-commerce and stores like eBay and things like that were very, very new. Did that for a few years, went to Florida State, came back out of Florida State University back to Miami, started my first venture-backed company that was called Live Ninja. That was backed by Comcast Ventures, City Ventures, a number of other big venture capital firms, and ran that from 2012 to 2017. Sold that company to IDT Telecom in 2017, and then I had an earnout with IDT. When you sell your company, you have to spend a certain amount of time with the acquiring company, which is called an earnout. So I did that, and then it was during that time that I discovered NFTs. In 2018, I'm a big Fred Wilson fan. Back from my previous startup, Fred Wilson is the founder of Union Square Ventures, just one of the most respected venture capitalists in the world, one of the first investors in Twitter, Tumblr, a number of others. And Fred has a blog called avc.com. And one day he writes a blog post back in like 2018 saying he's investing in this new company called Dapper Labs. And they have this thing coming out called CryptoKitties. And he's like, don't laugh. It's a digital cat. But trust me, NFTs and digital collectibles are going to be a big thing one day. And for me, I was like fascinated with the idea of digital collecting. I've been a collector all my life. I started off with basketball cards, baseball cards, then got into comics and Pogs, even back in the 90s. And then obviously became a video gamer, so I spent a lot of my time digitally. So the idea of like kind of merging the two together and did the idea of digital collectibles, like proven scarcity and verifiable on the blockchain, that was like such a no-brainer use case for me. So I started buying CryptoKitties back in 2018. That was my first taste of NFTs. And at the same time, I have 3 kids now, but at the time I had 2, and my daughter was 6 years old. She was absolutely addicted to these things called blind bag toys, which for folks that might not know what those are basically toys that you could buy at like Target or Walmart for like $20-$30 a pop. Kids don't know what's inside them, and they bring them home, they open them up, and inside is a random toy, and some are more rare than others. And after spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on these toys for my daughter, and she would play with them and not really do anything. She'd open them up, she'd see which one she got, but then they'd kind of collect dust. I was really interested. I'm like, what is it behind this product that makes her so excited about it? So I started looking up the company that made the toy at the time, which was called LOL Surprise, and found out that this is a multi-billion-dollar business. It's basically, it was the hottest toy in the world for 5 years in a row, and kids all over the world were obsessed with them. It was like the toy, and because it was generating so much money, every single toy company in the world just copied the model of a blind bag unboxing toy. So if you look at like everyone from MGA to Hasbro to Mattel to Disney, everyone started doing blind bags. Basically what the entire industry consisted of. If you go down a toy aisle in like Target or Walmart, you'll just see different permutations of blind bag unboxings. So, one day I'm working from home. This was around 2018. My daughter screams from the playroom with excitement, and she says, "Dad, come quick, come quick. Oh my God, I got the ultra rare. I finally got the ultra rare. This is the one. This is the one I've been looking for." And she looks at it for like 10 seconds. She's all excited. And then after 10 seconds, she throws it in the corner, never to touch it ever again, in the mountain of plastic that was existing there. And that was the big light bulb moment for me. I'm like, oh my goodness, here is this multi-billion-dollar segment of the toy industry that's predicated on scarcity and collecting. You can't do anything with them. Here's this new concept that Fred's talking about, this blockchain NFT thing. We can merge the two and create the first kind of digital toy with this experience. So I asked my daughter if this would be something she'd be interested in. I said, "Sweetheart, what if I were to make you the digital version of this toy, where sure, you can collect them, chase after the rare ones, but then when you get them, they don't sit and collect dust in the corner. You can actually do things with them, play games with them, interact with them in different ways. They would always get more features as things get developed. Would that be something you'd be interested in?" And she said, "Oh my God, Dad, that'd be amazing. I'd love that." So, in 2018, I said, "Okay, you know what? I got a few years left on my earnout. I'll do this little side project with my daughter, nights and weekends, because I had a full-time job." So, brought in my two co-founders, Emilio and Alfonso, from our previous company. They were co-founders in Live Ninja. And again, we just kind of moonlighted on the project. And then Emilio, very shortly, a few days into it, said, "You know what, if you really want to take this thing to the next level, I got a buddy of mine that I used to work with at Disney. He's a 3D artist and animator. His name's Freddie. This is the guy that could really help us really take this thing and kick it up a notch." So Freddie joined the team as another co-founder in mid 2018. Again, remember 2018, nobody cared about NFTs at the time outside of like the CryptoKitty enthusiasts. And then that was a big bear market for just crypto in general. So, but we didn't care. We were just building this stuff because we loved it and for our kids and because we believed in it. So from 2018 to early 2020, about a year and a half, we just kept making progress. Nights and weekends, building some characters, building a little mobile app, prototype, interactivity and whatnot, and just making progress here and there. And then obviously in 2020, pandemic hit, and then things, really rose up the entire and woke up the industry with NBA Top Shot. Top Shot really was a big catalyst for all of NFTs and collectibles. And then because we were making such progress, just nights and weekends, a little bit here and there, I think a lot of VCs and brands started to notice, hey, what's this digital toy company that's kind of working in the shadows over there, doing something cool with the toy industry? And we started to get interest from possible licensing partners and VCs. So it was, basically late 2020 when we decided, hey, now's the time. Like, there's a lot of momentum. We love this project. We've been building it for our kids. Let's go ahead and start doing this full time. We raised some venture capital, and that became early 2021, and then we were off into the races from there. So that's how the whole thing kind of came together.
And I love that. That's the best way to get started with something too. To have it come out of a necessity or a need, and having you're seeing this out of your daughter, and
Yep.
How she loved these, but there was something missing. There was this big puzzle piece missing,
Right.
And to solve that, it's just brilliant, and I love it. And so you've talked about the NFTs, digital collectibles, a lot, and I love that you're looking to do this is a digital. It's not an NFT like the majority of people that are probably aware of. So,
Right.
where do you see that going, or what made you think toys versus NFTs?
Well, I think NFTs, like they are NFTs. Let's make no mistake about it. But I think when we say the words NFT, we're talking about the technology themselves and not the product use case at the end of the day. And I think we need to get away from that, because if we say the word NFT, we're talking about underlying infrastructure. It's like, instead of saying email, it's like saying SMTP. Or instead of saying, hey, I listen to music, hey, I'm listening to MP3s. We used to say MP3s back in the day when the technology was new and that was the new file format. It was like the flavor of the day. But now do kids say, hey, I'm listening to MP3s? No, they listen to music. Um, so even though that's an MP3 on the back end, it's still music to the end consumer. So we think that's obviously where things are heading with NFTs. That NFTs, hey, we're all early adopters. So just like if you were an early adopter of MP3, that'll stick in your head. NFTs will be the same thing. But now we're going to move towards what is the use case, and NFTs will just be infrastructure on the back end. So we're a digital toy company. That's what we are. We make products that give you a great digital toy experience. Right, we think we're unlike anything that's really been seen before in the space, because we're focusing a lot on interactivity and play, and doing some unique things around digital collecting. So, we're just focusing on that and really, making that our entire focus.
That's really cool, man. Really cool to hear. And I just want to, for everyone else, because I know a lot more people have joined now, please like and retweet this. We want as many people in here as possible. It's a really cool topic. We're going over an amazing project. Also, DB has a giveaway coming up halfway through. So he's going to be asking a question to Will later on. And I think he'll explain this in a little bit. And then he can give away one of these packs for you guys, and then you can experience opening this up, because it's a really cool experience opening it up. And Will, I just wanted to say, listening to your story, I loved how you started at the beginning with your childhood, your fan pages and everything like this. And then later on, you went to how your daughter feels about these things. And I think this is very important for collectibles, because this is your childhood is when you're really collecting items, because you really care about it and you want to see the newest toys and everything like this. And I was just wondering, how do you guys envision how children will interact with this project? And will they be buying it themselves? Will the parents be buying it for them?
Yeah.
And how can they interact with it?
Yeah, great question. And just to preface that real quick, I really believe I love collectors. Like, I just love the community of collectors, because if you're collecting something and you're in touch with your inner fandom, that says something special about you, that you have the awareness to identify things that make you happy and give you things that bring you some fulfillment. So collectors, to me, I have quite an affinity. I'm a collector myself, and I truly believe, things start off as, when you're a child and you grow up, but as obviously things are wondrous when we're kids, like everything's larger than life, and everything's new and fresh and exciting. Then we become adults, and things start to harden us. Life gets in the mix. It throws us different, curve balls, and there's bills to pay and whatnot. And I truly believe that for most people, we go through life trying to find ways to feel like a kid again. And that is in regards to the clothes that you wear, the cars that you drive, the people you associate with. We are constantly looking for that feeling of excitement and wonder and things being larger than life and giving us just that pure joy, which is what life is all about at the end of the day. When you think of those moments back when you saw like Jurassic Park for the first time as a kid, like nothing beats that day. You were alive in all senses. And like, how can we get those feelings back when we're hardened adults? I really truly believe that, that's what we're on the search for, whether it's new relationships that we meet, again, cars that we drive and whatnot. So like in Cryptoys, we really want to give that experience for all ages, not just for young people as well, but for adults. Like, every time I open a Cryptoys holocron, I feel like a kid again. It's just an amazing feeling, and just want to, help as many people feel, happiness and experience that as possible. But to your question, this is an all ages platform. We're starting off, we had to start when we first launched the platform in November and did our first drop. That was 18 or up. You had to be 18 or up to sign up for an account. We just pushed an update because, there's legal issues, compliance, COPA compliance and whatnot. We just pushed an update, I think a month ago, that now you can sign up for an account if you're over the age of 13. And then we'll be launching a new part of the platform in the coming months, which is called Guardian Controls, which is something very unique. And it's our take on what is known as parental controls, but really built for like the modern family, even folks that, have different kind of relationships, where it's kind of like Netflix style, you have the parent account or the guardian account, but then you have sub accounts underneath, which will then allow people of all ages, even if they're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, which is very much like the Roblox category, people that play Roblox and Minecraft. We want them to experience digital collecting and digital toys for the first time in a safe way. We actually did it in such a unique way that we filed a patent with the U.S. Patent Office, and it's got approved for patent pending. So we have patent pending Web3 Guardian controls that are on its way, and really excited about that. So that is the goal. You know, I see it in my kids. You know, it's not a digital versus physical conversation. Like, kids don't think like that this way. We think sometimes this way because, like, we saw the before and the after. But kids that are born into this world, they just think of methods of play and what can they do with a certain method of play. So my kids will go from a physical toy to their iPad very seamlessly and fluidly back and forth depending on the method of play that they want. So we just see, obviously, the future. Digital is a huge part of the future of play. We cannot deny things like Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox. These are not necessarily the video games of our past when we were kids. These are very social experiences. This is very much like when they're playing Roblox together, they're like, hey man, meet me over there in the corner and let's build this structure together, and then go over there and go. It's very social, and digital is a piece of that. So when it comes to the future of play, you know, we know digital is going to be at the center of it, and we just want to create cool experiences for all ages, for sure.
That's awesome. And it seems like you guys have really thought of how to bring it mainstream and to have this be an actual toy company in the digital space, which is needed. The Guardian thing, that's awesome. And congrats on the patent pending. That's a crucial feature in order to have all ages involved and to make it safe and easy for family.
Yep.
And I love what you were saying about growing up as a collector. I was too. Cards, figures, plaques, whatever it may be, absolutely everything. And half of it right now is in boxes underneath our staircase, like 20 feet from me.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why I'm so in love with the digital space is, one, I think where we're going with the metaverse and virtual reality and even augmented reality, that I could have 100 of these toys and view them in this augmented world or virtual world. Yes. And my wife can't yell at me. Well, she might about the cost that I spend, but not about having them cluttering the house or anything. And I think this is really where things are going in the future, and I love it. And for those that aren't really familiar with Cryptoys, they've got some massive partnerships. They just launched Star Wars about a little over a month ago. And they're partnered with Mattel, who not only do they have their IP, they're also an investor in Cryptoys. And with Mattel, they're one of the biggest, if not the biggest, toy brand in the world, with Barbie, Hot Wheels, Master of the Universe, He-Man. I grew up with He-Man. So that drew me in. That's awesome. So just, I love everything you guys are doing, and it's awesome. I see Matt's got his hand up here. So what's going on, buddy?
Hey, great to connect again. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, very good.
All right. Hey, Will, what's up? You know, touching on all of this stuff, because I'm of similar age and experience. I've said it multiple times. I think this is probably the 5th time we've connected and talked, Will. And so I feel a little selfish on, you know, where to drive the conversation a little. So if I'm a little bit too but something that we were talking on last time was the onboarding initiative, right? Of kind of bringing, you know, these things that are so relatable to all of us, you know, dads, you know, when we were kids from the 80s and 90s, right? So could you speak a little further to, you know, Flow Blockchain's role in that onboarding initiative, but then more specifically kind of to a lot of the audience here, I think, and myself particularly, what does that look like moving forward over the years? Kind of what do you see as far as, you know, education around decentralization and that forward-looking vision as a digital toy company doing business on the blockchain? Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thanks for the question, man. Really appreciate it. So you know, I'll take this question from a few different angles, because there's the kind of why Flow question, and then also how do we educate more folks on blockchain and why this matters, and digital ownership. You know, digital ownership is obviously at the heart of why this is all possible, right? You can't really be a digital collector in my mind moving forward unless you have this provable, verifiable digital ownership, and the blockchain really allows that to happen. Now, the blockchain that you decide to build on top of, that is based on what your particular product is and your use case is and the type of customers that you're going after. We chose the Flow blockchain for a number of reasons. First of all, I think Dapper Labs is a pioneer in this space. I think if you ask a ton of people, like, hey, how'd you get into Web3 and NFTs? You're going to get a majority of the answers saying either CryptoKitties or Top Shot, right? As in both of those were Dapper Labs projects. They actually invented the term NFT. They created the NFT standard. So they've really set a goal for and really a precedent for this entire space to thrive. Great foundation. And they built the Flow blockchain. Remember, they launched CryptoKitties on Ethereum. Ethereum had massive scaling issues as CryptoKitties, got bigger and it was more in demand. So they created Flow blockchain to answer those scalability challenges from the ground up. It's built to scale, but then also built for very consumer-facing use cases in mind that allows projects like us to thrive. Like one technical use case is NFTs can be dynamic on the Flow blockchain, where you could have essentially like an NFT that owns other NFTs. So for example, your Luke Skywalker NFT technically owns the lightsaber right now that it's attached to, and you can decouple those two NFTs at any particular time. So it's fluid. If your Luke Skywalker gets a power-up inside one of the experiences, the NFT then dynamically owns that power-up, right, underneath it. Flow blockchain is built natively to do these things. So it's built very much for like consumer-facing applications, perfect for what Cryptoys wants to do. Also, they're fantastic partners from a business development perspective. They've made a ton of introductions for us, opened a lot of doors. They're a reputable name in the industry. Obviously, they brought on the NBA, which changed the game for the space. So when you approach partners like Mattel and Disney, things are tried and true on the Flow blockchain because it's worked for big consumer brands at scale. I also believe outside of all that, because those are necessary and why we chose Flow, but I also really think that sometimes as early adopters in this space, we overstate too much about how much a certain blockchain matters versus the other to the everyday normal consumer. To folks like us, it matters certain ways, right? A lot of folks, they're bullish on Solana, they're bullish on ETH, they're bullish on Polygon, whatever, bullish on Flow. But the normal concern that we always talk about this, how are we going to onboard the next 5 million people, 10 million people, 50 million people to blockchain? We're not going to do it by telling them this blockchain versus that blockchain. No, we're going to create amazing applications, first and foremost, great user experiences, and then they'll dive deeper over time. So like I always kind of do this thought exercise when people ask me this question. Imagine tomorrow, right, that World of Warcraft, because everybody likes to think of World of Warcraft, right, big MMORPG. Imagine tomorrow World of Warcraft announced that they're going on chain. All those people that collected and are gamers and all that, they announced tomorrow, people logged in to their World of Warcraft account to start a game, and it says, guess what? Big update. We are now on-chain, blockchain. You fully own your assets. A bunch of people will be like, okay, cool, they'll skip next. Not going to matter. Other people may complain about it, but a vast majority of people will be kind of open to the concept. Now I have verifiable digital ownership. Cool, it's on the blockchain. Those people aren't going to care if that's Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, Flow. For crying out loud, Blizzard could create Blizzard Chain or World of Warcraft Chain, and people wouldn't care. They'd click next to just continue. They just want to play their game, have a great experience, and cool, if you can give them verifiable digital ownership to the already great experience, that's icing on the cake. So for me, I think 3 things matter at the end of the day. And if you achieve these 3 things, I don't think the blockchain of choice matters very much. Number 1, create the best user experience possible for the end consumer. 2, keep the fees relatively low, because if you want trading fees, like, they can't be exorbitant. They can't cost you a ton of gas or fees to just do stuff on the platform. And 3, have true ownership and liquidity, meaning that if you want to sell an item, there's realistic expectation that there's enough people and interest in the platform that things can sell and trade hands, etc. If you achieve those 3 things, create a great user experience, keep fees low, and have liquidity on the platform, I don't think the blockchain matters at the end of the day. So I kind of build with those things in mind, and our number 1 focus right now, best user experience possible. And you can kind of start to see that with some of the things we do on the unboxing experience. That's really just the tip of the iceberg here. Like, we're doing so much more that's going to be coming out in the next few months that you guys are going to see. It's all about user experience. User experience, user experience, user experience. You could pick ETH and you could have a crappy user experience. Nobody's going to care about your platform. You can pick any other one, and if the user experience isn't there, it's a moot point at the end of the day. And to the last part of your question about how do we educate folks more about this? Absolutely. On-chain Studios, which is the parent company for Cryptoys, our mission is to educate, entertain, and empower the next generation of collectors. So, like you heard, that there's one of the pillars, educate. But we have to do it by giving people baby steps. People aren't going to join on the first day and ask, blockchain, how do I do this? Self-custody, whatnot. It's kind of like if you bought your first Bitcoin, you bought your first Bitcoin on Coinbase because they made it easy. You opened up a Coinbase account, you bought your Bitcoin, they took self-custody, and then as you started to get more comfortable with the space and wait, I can have self-custody. What does that mean? Okay, cool. That sounds interesting to me. Okay, but what's the risks? Risk versus reward, self-custody, and all that stuff. You kind of get there eventually over time. But if you told me the first time that I was interested in Bitcoin about self-custody, I might not have gotten into the space. It might have been too much for me early on, right? Because it's like, it's like it's obviously like the digital equivalent of putting the cash under the mattress, right? Like, if it's gone, it's gone. You can't call the bank, or you can't call a 1-800 number to help you out in that regard. So pros and cons, we plan on offering both with Cryptoys, but we have to educate people on what they're getting into with self-custody. It's not something that we can kind of flick the switch and assume people are going to get comfortable with. But we do believe very strongly that digital ownership and blockchain matters, and it matters a lot for this next generation. And education is going to be a big critical piece of what we're doing for people that are on board onto the platform and want to dig in more to it. So for sure, it's coming.
Well, thanks so much for that thoughtful answer, dude. Like, you knock them out of the park. Anybody listen to that, pay attention to everything that's going on. This is exactly why I think I probably have about 24 across all the different series now. Yeah, thanks, dude.
Amazing.
Keep it up.
Awesome. Thank you for the
I
support.
appreciate what you're doing. Yep, 100%.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Matt. Definitely a good one, too, and great answer. You can tell you've certainly done a few of these, Will. You've got these answers nailed down, and they're perfect. And I agree. It's awesome, the big picture you're looking at with everything, and the custodial versus non-custodial, allowing the ease for whatever, but then also educating people so they know how to do it. It's going to be so important. And like you were saying also, 5 to 10 years from now, these NFTs, digital collectibles, we might not know what chain they're on or where they're at. Nope. They're just going to be in our custody, in our wallet, or accessible to us. So it really doesn't matter, Flow, Ethereum, Solana, any of that. It's all going to be the same in the end. And it does come down to user experience. And I've got to say that it's the best I've seen in the industry. And I've been in the NFT space for a few years now. And I own well over 1,000 NFTs on 6 or 7 different blockchains. And this has just completely given me a new outlook and experience and love for the entire space and where it's going. So congrats on that again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. And I'll give a shout out to Fonz, who's in the crowd there. If you see a corgi with sunglasses and a heart in the right-hand corner, that's Fonz, my co-founder and chief experience officer. So between him and Freddie, who's the head artist and lead designer for a lot of the visuals, they really crafted that unboxing experience to really take it to the next level. Fonz and Freddie together talking about the idea of unboxing, but then having a blister pack if you want to keep it in mint condition, and what are the perks for that? What do you want to do if you want to have active play and take it out of the blister pack? So Fonz has a lot of stuff that he's working on that you guys are going to be really excited about when we launch it, and hearing that really means the world to us. Like, we're really heads down building this thing. These are long days. Like, we're working nonstop. But we're really excited about it, and I love this company so much. I believe in it so much. It's an honor to work on it every single day. I tell folks all the time, like, if you looked into a crystal ball and you said, "Yo, Will, you're going to be working on Cryptoys for the rest of your life," I saw it. I saw the whole thing play out in the crystal ball. It's Cryptoys for the rest of your life, man. Dude, I'd be so happy with that. I would be so thrilled to work on this project for the rest of my life. I believe in it so much. It started with interest from my kids and what they wanted to see of the toy of the future and how to build those experiences. And, I feel super blessed. Every day I wake up and I get to talk to folks like you guys and the collecting community and build alongside you guys. And also, for the first time ever, my kids care about what I do, which is also very cool. So, it's just a blend of like all my passions, collecting and fandom and my family. And I just love it, man. I'm having such a blast and working alongside folks like Fonz and my co-founders and again, the community and the vibes from you guys and the energy, it just means so much to me. So I'm very fulfilled. I'm very passionate. And I'm going to work incredibly hard to make this as successful as possible for all of us.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. And so I think you mentioned Fonz. Yeah. Glad to have him here as well as some of the others. I think you guys have a team of around 60 people now, right?
Yeah, we're about 60 people. Yep, and
Wow.
I just got out of a meeting with Fonz and the rest of my co-founders that number might be growing rather quickly, pretty soon. So some exciting things to talk about there when the time is right.
Wow. Yeah. So you guys definitely got a lot going on for sure.
Yeah.
So
It's a beast of a project. Like I think a lot of people don't realize like that unboxing experience, how many hands it takes to get all that right. It's not like you're scanning an asset or it's a profile picture or just a JPEG or a movie. These are fully rigged, fully animated, built from the ground up, designed from the ground up, and interactive. Like these are gaming assets at the end of the day. Like a lot of people see this and they're like, okay, this is, they're looking at their backpack like, okay, there's Luke Skywalker. Dude, that Luke is fully rigged and interactive and ready to go. Like you guys, like I don't think a lot of people fully comprehend that these things are playable until they see what's coming. This is a very different project, but one that's very exciting. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of hands, a lot of artists, a lot of animators, a lot of Unity engineers. Yeah, it's a beast of a project for sure. By far the most ambitious thing I've ever worked on in my life.
Yeah, I could tell. And if anyone that's out there listening, if you haven't checked out the unboxing experience or it all, check the thread up in the pins. I'll probably post some other stuff as well. It's just truly unbeatable when the entire process from going from the box to finding out what you have inside of it to then having the choice of opening it, just like when you were a kid and you had a pack of cards and or a figurine. And I have all my Star Wars actually still in the the original wrapper. I never even took them out, so I'm a hardcore collector in that. And I'm gonna probably keep most of my Cryptoys in the bubble wrap as well. And that's just,
I love it.
It's
And for folks that are wondering what's the difference between the two, it's just like, what type of collector are you? Like the toy industry, if you think of the toy industry, you have folks that like to keep their stuff in the package. It's kind of like on display in mint condition. And then you have folks that like to take it out of the packaging and actually actively play with their toy, put it in play sets, see it in different formats, right? Accessorize it in different ways. So it's like, what type of collector are you? And the way Fonz designed it, there's benefits to both. If you're keeping them in mint condition in the blister pack, there will be perks for that. There will be certain like airdrops, rewards, etc. for the folks that keep them in mint. But there's also things that you can only do with these things if you take them out of the packaging. So there's rewards for taking them out of the packaging. It's just about what kind of rewards are you looking for, what kind of power up, what kind of bonuses, what kind of play experience. Are you more of a passive collector, or you just like to kind of see things on your shelf, or are you more like an active kind of player? So it caters to both types of the industry, and so, sometimes we're a little bit of both. Like I kind of fall in the middle just depending on the type of mood that I'm in. So I kind of have the rule of three, which is I try to collect three of each, which is like one to rock, one to stock, and one to swap, one to trade, because trading is coming on the platform. So whenever I get duplicates, I'm actually kind of happy because then I know I can load up my trade bag, when folks want to do some live swaps.
Yeah, and that's definitely my plan as well. I want at least 3 sets of all of these so I can do just about everything with them. And so you just brought up trading. I know we've got there's marketplace, third party, as well as I think you guys are making your internal marketplace.
Right.
And trading is probably one of the most requested things, that in the backpack that I see in the social media channel. Do you see trading coming before the marketplace at the same time? What do you think about that?
So they're both of those things. There's 3 things. The 3 things that you just said: trading, a marketplace, and backpack improvements are all 3 things that are actively underway right now. So it's the question of like, how fast we can get QA development done, QA done, shipping it, etc. But those are like three of the top things that are in development right now. Like we're really excited about trading. I'll just say that right now. The idea that we can get into an environment where you and I could have a live chat and like just kind of barter with each other. Like, yo, I got this legendary Vader. I'm looking for 2 Lukes, and like have that experience where you see my inventory, I see your inventory. That's going to be a lot of fun. And actually, it's funny. We get a lot of requests that say, trading before marketplace, because they want to keep the fun and the fandom aspect paramount, and before it kind of gets into all the other aspects of it. And we'll just see which one we complete first. We have to do a native marketplace and a non-native marketplace. The non-native marketplace, that might be the easiest to do because that's some external stuff, but there's a few caveats with that. So while it's technically pretty easy, remember, we're building an all ages platform, the first of its kind. And because it's the first of its kind, it has to follow COPA compliancy, all these different things where people under the age of 13 can participate in a very safe and compliant way. So these 3 initiatives will be ready to go. We're building them very actively. We're dedicating a lot of time and resources into it. The order of which I can't say accurately right now, because I might say something today and it might change tomorrow depending on the velocity. But all those 3 things are in active development, and I'm particularly excited about trading because you know what a marketplace experience is. You've had a marketplace before. You've seen them on different websites. So like, a lot of that stuff will be, common features that you've seen before about, seeing the floor price, searching different things and assets. But trading is going to be super special and super fun and super social. So I'm excited about that to bring some new kind of flavor to the space. But all of those things are happening.
Amazing. Yeah, it reminds me of growing up with my friends and collecting cards, and you're sitting across from them, and they've got a card you want, you've got a card, and you're actually swapping these. Yes. So it's cool to see that you have this vision of making it more than just a marketplace where you're just clicking a button and swapping. It's much more than that, which is so cool.
Yeah, for sure. We build this thing holistically so it actually has legs. Like, if you do things in a certain order or in the wrong order, it could have really profound impact into how people feel about the project. If this becomes about floor price on day one, if we would have like launched with a marketplace, we wouldn't have been able to do the COPA compliancy stuff for people under the age. So that would have like capped us at the knees there. It would have been an uphill battle from that. Then the whole conversation is floor price. How do you raise the floor price? Well, we're building games, applications, AR functionality, mobile apps. There's so much coming. So it's like just delivering them at the right time while maintaining COPA compliancy so that people of all ages can join you on the platform and be able to trade and all that stuff. I think it's going to be well worth the wait because we want to build something that's sustainable for decades, right? Even generations. And it just takes a little bit of that patience early on to really knock that out of the park. Or else you start getting to, we rushed to market, but then we got hit with a fine because it wasn't full COPA compliancy or something like that. We just got to tread carefully. So,
yeah, that's what you got to do. Rushing to market and just get hit with something, and it can take down the entire project. So it's not worth the risks for sure.
Yeah.
So I know all of your collections. There's 30,000 pieces, and it sounds like the plans you're going to have different tiers. Currently, we have the hero tier, and I think there's the elite tier, and then there's one other.
The adventure. Yep.
Venture. So will the other tiers look identical, have the same boxing, animations, all that, or will there be variance there?
There will be some differences to each look of it. If you look at a physical toy company, they have levels to it too. Like you can buy like a really high. Like I bought a 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi Boba Fett that's made by Hasbro, right? I bought an action figure. That cost me literally $40, right? And it's a high-end action figure. You can see there's more detailing on it. It's just more high-end. But then also, I've been at Five and Below, where my kids love. It's like the dollar shop, and I've seen things that are $5.99 at Five and Below, made by Hasbro, Star Wars, and the same Boba Fett character. It's just there's different price points based on the different types of things that you want to do with that particular toy. We want to cater to all different price points, all different types of customers. So we start at the high end stuff because we know a lot of people are excited by all that full feature technology that we're doing. So you want to have the best characters on the platform. We start with the hero tier, but then we are going to release elites very soon. That's the mid tier. They'll be priced, lower than $39.99, and then the adventurer tier, which will most likely be sub $10. But you will be able to do very different things with those toys. So it's about what type of consumer you are, and there will be certain aesthetical differences. They'll still be incredible quality. We'll never sacrifice on quality, but there might be certain functionality that's different between the three tiers that you might, be interested in one tier versus the others because of that capability.
Awesome. Yeah, it makes sense. So now I'm gonna pose the giveaway question, and I'm gonna type it up in the chat as well. And so for the giveaway, we are giving away a unboxed Star Wars holocron. So you could win everything from a common to an ultra grail. No
Nice.
idea what's in the box.
Nice.
And so the question, this is something about Will. So
yeah.
How this is gonna work is, the question is, name Will's 3 favorite Star Wars movies in order. And you also have to be present in this space to win. So please include a picture of you in this space along with your guesses. And go ahead, put it down below. First person to get it right, gonna win the holocron. Good luck. It might not be as easy as you think. But,
so I think the way to do that is hit the purple button on the bottom right, and yep. Mention it in thread.
Yep. Now I think Rad's got a question.
Yep.
I'll send it over to him.
Yeah, and if no one gets it completely correct, then it'll be the closest person to the right answer.
For sure.
It won't just be all or nothing, for sure. And then will obviously give you the cheat codes so that it will be an ultra grail. So yeah, everyone wins. I'm joking. So yeah, I mean, one thing I'm really getting from this whole conversation, and again, like, this is amazing what you guys are doing. You're very professional as well, which is great to see in this space. A lot of companies and projects are not very professional, and a lot of people react badly to that. And one thing I'm really seeing is you're trying to include everyone. It's not just people in the blockchain, the crypto space, and I love that about it. And I was wondering, how important do you believe allowing Web2 forms of payment, such as Apple Pay and credit cards, is to this project, and also just the future of like NFT projects as well?
I think it's critical. I think it's a must if we're going to get, to the scale that we want to get. I mean, we want to see this Christmas, we want to see a grandmother buy a Cryptoy for her grandson. And let's face facts, grandma's not opening up a MetaMask wallet, storing her seed phrase, going to Coinbase to do KYC, buying Ethereum, transferring the Ethereum to the Coinbase wallet, to then go back to Cryptoys to figure out how to do this. Like, that ain't happening. So we got to make this super, super simple. If, to be able to do it with 2 clicks on your iPhone or your Android with Apple Pay or Google Pay, that's what it's all about. Like, we can't be preaching technology for the sake of technology. We have to preach technology for what it does well and what are the benefits of technology. We have to make technology accessible. So we have to just, call these what they are. They're digital toys. You're interested in the technology and the infrastructure, we'll talk about that more, and we can delve deep and we can answer all the questions you want about the technology behind it. That's great. We love that. We love those conversations too. But for a grandmother that wants to buy a Cryptoy for her grandson for Christmas, this better be just as easy as buying a regular toy, or you're losing that customer. You're losing that interest in the platform right out of the gate. We have to also, like, as a space, look at ourselves in the mirror and just understand how small we are, how early we are to this space still. If you look at, like, the active wallets in all of blockchain, like, first of all, if you look at the individual blockchains, it's very small, but like in all the blockchains, I mean, we're talking, you put that to like video game consumers or like other forms of like consumerism and like, different forms of products, it's like a drop in the bucket. It's like so minuscule. We need to grow, but we need to make this as easy to attain as those other products, or else we'll just be swimming upstream the entire time. And it doesn't matter how good the backend technology is, if it's not easy to access and participate in the technology, it's kind of dead on arrival. So you have to figure out ways to make that seamless. So I believe very much in NFTs. I believe very much in the Web3 space. I believe very much, like, so certain, you cannot convince me otherwise, that this is the future. I see it in consumer behavior with my kids and their peers. Like, this is undoubtedly the future. I cannot be convinced otherwise, but it has to be presented in a digestible format that makes it easy to use, easy to understand, and let the technology shine later on when people get used to the technology and the platform versus like making it the first thing we talk about. And that's what's happening. That's why it's putting off a lot of people. Like I've been to Comic Cons and all these like fan shows, and like if you start the conversation with, do you collect NFTs? They'll have this like allergic reaction, like the NFTs are a scam and this and that, because we're leading with technology and we're leading with money. It's all about money, flipping technology. So of course, people will have adverse reaction, because anytime you make flipping and technology and money making the first part of the conversation, people think they're getting taken advantage of. That's not the way this space grows.
I couldn't agree more. That is completely the right approach, and that is what all these projects need to start realizing, to be honest with you. And I can't wait to see where that goes as well. I was just, one of the reasons I was asking the question is because with the marketplace, obviously most marketplaces at the moment are in crypto. Does that mean people can engage in crypto or fiat, or does that mean
Yeah.
just be fiat? I don't know.
So for primary sales, for buying it off of us, you can go and buy it off a credit card. We are introducing, with the marketplace, there'll be kind of two avenues. Third-party marketplaces will allow for any currency that the marketplace supports. So whether it's crypto or fiat. We are also doing a native marketplace with our own off-chain virtual currency called Token. We're releasing that later this year. Token is akin, you can think of it to like our version of Robux or Fortnite's V-Bucks. And the reason we do that is to also provide trading and marketplace capabilities to folks under the age of 13, right? Because they want to be able to load up their balance, Roblox style, get a gift card from their parents, load up their account, and be able to participate. That's really important for us, that all ages are able to participate on the platform in a safe, compliant, and fun way. But then we also value that people want full liquidity in the currency that they value. So that's why third-party wallets and marketplace support is very, very key. Cash out options in your currency that you want. So those are the kind of two ways, and we're going about it, and also making it compliant for people under the age of 13 to participate. So there'll be a lot of options.
Again, awesome. Just everything being put together and thought of here. I've got a question about the IP, and maybe hopefully you can answer this. It's not too in depth, but how much freedom do you have with this? So I know the characters have it's multiple NFTs, and again, Luke has a lightsaber and a blaster. So or us as users in the future able to interchange those, or is that something that is maybe not allowed or controlled by Disney? Or even the rarities. I noticed the rarities for Star Wars, the numbers are different than
Yes.
Masters of the Universe and the ZUFO.
Mhm.
So was that fully done by you, or is that something that Disney suggested or wanted to do? Or
No, Disney's given us a lot of creative freedom. They've been incredible partners to work with, just incredible. But we were just there last week at their headquarters in Burbank and Glendale with some amazing meetings talking about kind of the next steps of the partnership. So super exciting, and what's coming is going to blow your minds for sure. When it comes to interoperability and like those kind of things, and like why we did the numbers differently and the rarities different for Star Wars versus Motu. If you look at ZUFO Escape and Motu, they're the same character models for each rarity, but they're just different skins. So you're able to do like a different skin and texturize the same base model. So it allowed us to like do that a little bit more quick. And even that, the team just didn't sleep, honestly, for months, like to get those amount of characters out, fully rigged and playable. With Star Wars, we actually took it up a notch. So it seems like it's less rarities, but it's actually it's a higher difficulty, because they're individual different models for every rarity. So we didn't just slap a different skin on Luke, 5 different times. We did Farm Boy Luke, we did Rogue 5 Luke, we did Jedi Master Luke, right? Like these are individual, very different models. They're different hair, they're different, facial expressions. Luke obviously gets older throughout the rarities. So we couldn't just slap a new skin on it, and, new texture, and call it a day. So we were going to do new models per rarity. We had to cut it down from 4 to 3, and just focus on quality versus quantity on that one if we were really going to hit the bar that we set for ourselves from a quality perspective. And for interchangeability on items, I'll just say stay tuned. Some cool things on the works there for sure.
Wow. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it then.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be trying to wrap this up in 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. We definitely want to respect your time. Again, really appreciate you coming on. And want to mention again the giveaway going on right now. The question is, what are Will's top 3 favorite Star Wars movies in order? Go ahead, post them in chat. I haven't actually even checked the comments yet to see if anyone's gotten it, but the first person to get it correctly wins a Star Wars holocron. And I see we've got Don's got his hand up. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, I'm glad I made it. I was a little predisposed. Deebs, what's up? Maddie, what's up? Rad, what's up? Will, what's going on, brother?
What up, Don? How you doing, man?
Chilling. I see Craig is up here too. Craig, what's going on?
My guy, Craig.
Yeah, Craig was how we got introduced, Will. That's the man right there, Craig O. Shout out to Steph, Cassie, Fonz, Poof. Who am I missing? Emilio, the whole team over there at Cryptoys. Where's Poof? Why is Poof not up here? Let's get Poof up here. Poof, if you're down there, get your butt up here.
That's why his nickname's Poof, because you see him, all of a sudden you see him, and then poof.
Exactly. Hey,
gone.
I'm a little late to the conversation. I do apologize, but Will, did you talk about the block at all?
I haven't. No, we didn't talk a lot about the block. Nope.
Could you maybe 2 minutes? I know Deebs is saying it's close to the end here, but I think the block is a really cool part of Cryptoys.
So we wanted to show the block is basically the test drive environment. Once you take your Cryptoys out of the packaging, we wanted to showcase these aren't your normal NFTs. These aren't your normal collectibles. These are fully rigged, ready to go, and fully interactive. So the block allows you to test drive your units on this interactive area that we call the block. Currently, you can see the block if you have a Zuafo Escape Cryptoy and a Masters of the Universe Cryptoy. You can take them out of the packaging and then enter the block, and you could actually run around, jump, and interact with your characters. Just a little small taste of what's coming from an interactivity standpoint, just so you can see how you can play with it in different ways. There's a Star Wars block that's coming specifically here in the next few months here. Like, we're working very hard on that. That is, we had to redo the block. One, we want to do a custom skinned version of the block where it looks like Star Wars, right? A very like interactive environment. But also, you'll notice the block doesn't have support for items yet. And what good is taking your Luke Skywalker out on the block if you can't bring your lightsaber with you? So we're building full item support on the block, so you can take your lightsaber or your blaster into the block as well and have some fun with it. So the block is a very big. We've actually rebuilt the block foundationally. It started off as like a quick test drive area, but now we're rebuilding it, and it's very much connected tissue into different experiences that you can have on the Cryptoys platform. So very, very excited about the future of the block. And the block, we named it the block for a variety of reasons. Number one, kind of play on words. Let's go walk on the block, right? Number two, kind of reference to the blockchain. You're walking on the blockchain effectively. And three, they're the building blocks. You're putting blocks together and connecting them in different ways. So stay tuned there. There's lots coming.
And soon there's going to be a partnership with the locks. So there will be D-Block Cryptoys.
Let's go. Let's go.
Nice. Hey, Craig, what's up, man?
All right. I guess I don't have to raise my hand real quick. Well, first off, a big shout out to xSpaces, DB Crypto, Rad Reese. I've heard about you a number of times. Big shout out to you, Don. Thank you. I was just gonna say, I always take a lot of the time when I'm interviewing people to get a feel for founders and what they do in the space. And by far, Will is one of the most impressive individuals. His level of passion, as you said, he's found what he's done. So now he's cool with the kids. He's cool with his coworkers. His friends think he's cool. I definitely think you're cool, Will. And I just think it's one of thit's things where, it's easy. It's an easy on-ramp into what we call Web3. And again, grandma time at Christmas or Hanukkah, because I don't want, I want to make sure, my fellow Jewish friends, we get to celebrate too with Cryptoys. And so when my wife asked me this year what I want, I said I want more Cryptoys. And she looks at me like I'm crazy. I'll bring her flowers. Will, I'll give you your props. And I want more Cryptoys under my menorah. That's all I wanted to say, guys.
I love it, brother. Don't worry, you'll have a very happy Hanukkah. This year, we'll take
Love you
care
guys
of you.
too. Love you too. Love you too.
Let me tell you guys something real quick.
Yeah.
Craig has been on Cryptoys since day one, D.
Yeah.
Day one, Craig has been telling us, I'm just going to get a Cryptoy every month. That's like that. That was his monthly investment. I'm sorry, Craig, if I'm revealing too much here. I apologize.
No, not at all. I mean, listen, find what you love, and then invest in those things. And I've got to tell you, Cryptoys is, I talk about it a lot on my podcast. That's one of those communities. It's solid. As sure as I am that I get on that podcast every week, as sure as I am that Cryptoys is going to continue to be there and grow in the space and be the number one leader in the toy industry and gaming industry as far as it's concerned. So that's my thoughts.
Love it, bro. Thank you, Craig. Pulling on my heartstrings, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, that if I may, that's my pet peeve with this whole thing is Cryptoys is not an NFT project. It's a digital toy company.
That's right.
Digital toys, ladies and gentlemen, not NFTs. NFTs are just a part of the project, and that's how we're going to get Web3 adoption. Thank you so much, Will, for that.
Thank you, man. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for recognizing that. That means a lot. Thank you.
Perfectly said. Yeah, for sure. And thanks for come on up and chiming in there, guys. Definitely good to have you here in the space. Thanks for joining us. And I think Rad's got a question or two from the community. Actually, we're gonna jump into real quick if we still have time.
Yeah. So we can make this as quick as you'd like. But one of the first questions, which is quite a quick one to be fair, is someone, I think it was Rick something, who was asking if you guys will be at Comic-Con this year.
A few of us might be there, including myself. I'm still finalizing plans. Summer is always a little bit tricky with the kids and summer camp and logistics. We were there last year. We had an incredible time with Mattel, and we made some incredible contacts. So much has happened from the company from last time we were at Comic-Con. I might still go out there. We're not going to have a booth like last year, which was a full thing with Mattel. We are going to save up for a big thing next year, and also there's just some crazy product stuff happening right now at the company. So we had to invest the capital there versus big installations at Comic-Con. But there'll be more stuff with Comic-Con in the future and other related events and fan events like Comic-Con. But this year, I think we'll just float around a little bit. So if you'll be there, send me a DM. Would love to link up.
That's really cool to hear. And it is amazing for obviously meeting people, other companies and partnerships and so on. So
yeah, I want to spend more time at those conferences, the Comic-Cons and all the various fan expos versus the NFT Web3 stuff. Because I love Web3 conferences. I'll continue to go to them and support. But that you're basically screaming into the echo chamber. It's like NFTs are great. They're great. They're great. They're great. They're great. You're not converting any new people to the industry by doing that. So I think our time is better spent at Comic-Cons and things of that nature to really share our love for digital toys and digital collecting.
I agree completely, and I'm sure a lot of your holders as well would love to meet you guys in a fun setting like that as well.
That'd be amazing.
They'd love that. And the other question was from, let me just bring it up. It was from Notorious. I'm not going to say the next word. Anyway, his question is, will it be an interoperable platform where other NFTs can be brought into the ecosystem?
Yeah, we'd love to build. We'd love to build, obviously, towards all that. I mean, what we want to build and nail first is the experience of these assets and these characters. Again, it bears repeating for the folks that are just joining. These Luke Skywalkers, these Darth Vaders, these Skeletors, these He-Mans, these Comets. These are fully rigged, playable characters. There's a fully interactive experience. And there's certain things that we had to do. The reason that, and I'll say this really quick, the reason Cryptoys all have a similar aesthetic, they have kind of short arms and short legs. They kind of have kind of Funko-ish or chibi style aesthetics, is because you have to take, if you're building a gaming platform, an interactivity platform, you have to have the same proportions across the various IP. So you could do things like emotes and animations and carry these things over in a very seamless way. If all the assets were different sizes, one was humongous, one was small, then you can't build something that's transferable easily across the platform. So even though we love the way that they look, they're absolutely awesome, but it was also done for functional reasons as well. So when you build in interoperability and we take something that's humongous, or different proportions, and you expect similar levels of interactivity, that's obviously technically very, very hard. But things that are aesthetic, like to take something and take a static NFT or a video, like your Top Shot moments or like your Bored Ape, and put it in an environment inside of the world that we're creating, is absolutely things that we want to do for sure. So it's just about what level of interactive. There's nothing that's going to be as interactive and capable and have as much features as the Cryptoys themselves on the platform. But then we get into all these different things from interoperability that we want to do with other assets across the space. And then we also want to do things where we're building third-party wallet support and functionality there, so you could have self-custody through these things too in the coming future. So that's kind of how we think about it for now, as we continue to explore more things that are interoperable. But interoperability is a core tenet. It's a pillar of Web3. We have to build towards it. We're going to get there, and we also have licensors like Disney and Mattel and a number of others that we have to make sure we're in lockstep with. But they're aware of our intent, and they're very much on board. So.
Awesome. So much going on, and it's going to be exciting second half of 2023 and beyond for sure. And again, want to definitely take into consideration your time. We're a little over an hour here, so I'm going to let everyone kind of wrap up, give some final thoughts here. See, Don's got his hand up. So what's going on, buddy?
Hey, I see some community members. I just wanted to give a shout out to Jay Clemente and Buck Jester. I wish Buck would come up and talk about how he filled out his map and also explain why he's not following me. But yeah, shout out to you, Buck. That's you got some awesome pools. I would love to just have him come up for just a second. But if he doesn't want to, shout out to you, Buck.
Yeah, Buck is our first Grand Master. He's got the entire 15 out of 15 Star Wars. And I think he did it in 62 cubes, which if you figure out the math on, it's crazy. But yeah, he's got all 15. I think there's only 2 of them right now. Someone else came out a couple days ago and said they got it. So congrats to Buck, and it looks like he's actually coming up.
There he is.
Hey,
Legend.
you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
This is interesting. This is fun. Everything. Yes, first Grandmaster. I went in all in. Believe it or not, Motu grabbed me. I mean, I love Zoo and everything, but there was something else I needed. And when Masters of the Universe came on, I needed those Skeletors, and I started building an army. And lo and behold, then Star Wars came on, and I was like, oh my God, they're taking this to another level. I got to get in this. And I got lucky. I got really lucky. I pulled 3 UGs and my 60-second holocron, and I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. To this day, I'm still shocked because I never got a W in this space. It was my first W. Thank you, Cryptoys. That's how I feel. But the map itself, I had a little art app that I created those little fire circles on. And it looked really cool on the collector map. And when I filled it up, oh, man, it was amazing. It was a great feeling. Thank you guys for definitely a breath of fresh air in this space, because this space needed this. It's a lot of fun. And I thank you, Will, for bringing it to us. And hopefully it'll get to the masses.
We appreciate it so much, man. It means the world to have you in the community, and you're such a huge pillar of the community. And we see every single tweet that you put out, and the vibes that you put in the Discord. It means so much to us, and thank you for supporting the project and seeing the vision. I mean,
I'm here for
this stuff. We appreciate it so much, man. We are pouring our hearts and souls into this project, and seeing folks like you enjoy the platform and collect and loving the experience just keeps us going, man. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And who was it that said I wasn't following? I wasn't following who wanted to follow.
That was Don.
That's the little monkey. That's the little monkey over here.
All right. I'll make sure to give you a follow, Don. Sorry about
Thanks,
that.
bud.
You just got knighted. You got knighted, Don,
That's awesome.
by the
Good
Grand
stuff,
Master. The
guys.
Grand
Yeah,
Master knighted you.
thank you.
Hey,
Keep
I'd
up the good
actually,
work. Seriously.
Thank you, brother.
I'd actually like to make a quick point here, Rad and Deeps. Where else other than Web3 can a CEO talk directly to his community like this and have this interaction that you, ladies and gentlemen, just witnessed? This is Web3. We are Web3. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, guys.
I love that vibe. And again, we really do see this, like we are building this platform together through, our love, our shared passions, our fandoms. Like we're coming together and the whole community is coming together. It's a beautiful thing to build these incredible, projects and things that are happening in the space. I'm so excited. I'm so excited by what's happening right now. Like you can tell it's, not just Cryptoys, but there's so many other great projects out there that are doing amazing things. We feel like we're on the precipice of like, a big movement, and we're still super early. That is a fact. And it's the community and the vibes and the supporters that believe in us this early on that actually makes the difference so that we can have the future that we all believe in. And I'm just so grateful. I wake up every single day just so grateful. Again, I get to come online, build amazing products with my partners, experience and dive deep into the lores of things that I've loved as a kid, like Master Universe and Star Wars and many more things that we're going to announce really soon. And then just jam with you guys all day. We get to talk about like comic book stuff and Web3 and digital collectibles. Like I'm having such a great time and just grateful for all the vibes that you guys are sending. And I hope we're sending good vibes right back at you guys.
Will, any hints on what's coming? Any hints on what's coming, Will? Any hints?
I'll say one of the most iconic IPs of all time is coming to the platform.
Oh,
Wow.
Deebs, Rad, you heard it.
Okay. I know Jay Clemente is going to be in Discord any second now, blowing it up with speculation and ideas, as well as Buck Jester and a few others.
Number one speculator.
Yeah, we could go on and on for hours. And I know we got a couple people requested to come up, but we really got to kind of cut this short. So we've gone a little bit over. Rad, any final thoughts?
Well, I'll make this quick as well because I know we're over. I just think that this project is actually pretty amazing, and I love the stance that you guys have with Web3 and how that is the background. That is the amazing technology, but most people aren't going to care or even know about that. And that's right. Just exactly how it is. I mean, you look at the biggest games ever. No one knows how to create these games. No one knows what goes into these games, but they love playing these games, and that's exactly what's going to be happening here. And I look forward to seeing what's coming, and I look forward to that announcement with that big project, man.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Thanks
We're
for
excited.
coming on.
I appreciate you guys.
And I don't think we have I might have missed it, but I don't think we have a winner yet. So keep those guesses rolling in.
Yeah.
Top 3 favorite Star Wars movies of Will in order. So
and I see a few folks in here, big Star Wars fans. I see My Collectibles in here. I know he's a massive Star Wars fan, so he might have some good guesses there. I will, if I have to bounce, we can always announce it later. But let's see who's the closest so far. If I'm looking, should I start giving hints so we could try to get closer? Let's see. Nobody's got it yet. So
we could do it later too if we want to give people time to guess.
Okay, I was gonna give a hint that could probably probably wrap.
Shoot.
Okay, so I would say that if you look at the comments, the closest so far is if you look at CraigOCrypto, he got the first 2 right in order, but the third one is not. Dude, I love Rogue One. That might be number 4 or 5, but it's not number 3. So the first 2 are right. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. A New Hope is my second favorite Star Wars movie of all time. Number 3 is still is yet to be shared in that order.
Awesome. So CraigOCrypto is close. Get those guesses in.
Yeah.
And afterwards, once we have a winner, I'm going to be shooting you a DM, and we'll get that crypto, the holocron, sent over to you. And Will, really, really appreciate your time today. This is just an awesome chat. Love your energy, love your passion for what you're doing, just everything about what's going on. It had me fall in love with crypto and the NFT space again. So, and I really appreciate Don Paulo, Easton, and Matt for introducing me to you guys. I just discovered you guys about a month ago. And this is exactly what I've been looking for, and I think what the space is missing. So I'm so excited to be a part of it, and really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, I appreciate it. So we have a winner, and it was a winner, if I'm looking at my timestamps correctly, by 1 second. There's a 1 second difference between Dino Floor's NFTs and Darklink, and Dino got it. Revenge of the Sith is my third favorite movie of all time. And I know I can sometimes get heat for that because everybody will say the original three, has to be in some order: Empire, New Hope, and Return of the Jedi. But man, Revenge of the Sith is such a great, great movie. If you watch that movie again, there is so much Star Wars in that. If you love Star Wars, that is Star Wars. You overdose on Star Wars in that movie. It is so good. It is so well written. I think the performances hold up to this day. I have such a blast every time I watch that movie. I just watched it with my kid. He said it was his favorite movie out of all of them. So shout outs to Revenge of the Sith, and George Lucas produced a freaking masterpiece. And shout outs to Dino for being the winner of the Holocron.
Awesome. Congrats, Dino. Go ahead and shoot DB Crypto a message, or you can even shoot this account as well, and we'll get that sent over to you shortly. Congrats, and thanks for coming, everyone. This was an awesome space. Thanks for coming on, Will. Your time, we greatly appreciate it, and hope everyone enjoyed it and got a lot out of it. And we got some big stuff coming. It sounds like the biggest IP in the world.
One of.
Pretty soon. One of.
Yep.
But yeah. So stay tuned and don't sleep on this project. It's going to be a massive one.
Appreciate you guys. See you guys.
Appreciate it, guys. Peace out.
See you guys.
Later.
Take care, all of us.